What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reviewing and breaking down The Flash's 150th episode. But of course, before we get started, make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment any other video suggestions for me. So guys, the episode starts off with us getting a look at the future, which was awesome to see, specifically 2049, where we see Nora and Bart facing off against Godspeed, which, was great. We also see a bit of a comic book reference with the cosmic treadmill at the Flash Museum, which is what Godspeed used to travel back in time to 2021. I really like that comic book reference. It was awesome to see that finally on the show. This treadmill has obviously been on the Flash before, but it only must have turned into the cosmic treadmill, obviously, in the future when they must have changed it somehow so then it could travel back in time. And then of course Nora and Bart chased Godspeed back into the past, that being 2021. So then we see Bart and Nora basically meeting the rest of Team Flash, or I could say the rest of Team Flash meeting Bart and Nora, as obviously Bart and Nora had already met them. So yeah, as that's going on, they start to come up with a plan to finally end this Godspeed war once and for all. Then it becomes confirmed that this Nora is not the same Nora as the one before, and what I mean by that is she doesn't have the previous Nora's memories. She says, Barry told her stories about the first Nora that they interacted with and all that stuff. So then we see the Godspeeds fighting once again, but then all the Godspeeds decide to fight Barry, Bart, and Nora instead of each other. We then see they all go after Bart, Bart's going up against 6 Godspeeds at once before they disappear out of nowhere and go back to the Speed Force. So yeah, all the Godspeeds just stopped fighting each other and instantly went after Bart, and this must have been the secret that, sort of separates the Flash family, why all these Godspeeds only followed Bart, and then Bart says that Godspeed was his Thawne, basically, that he's basically Bart's arch enemy, and that obviously was very sensitive towards Barry when Bart mentioned Thawne, and this is what, starts to divide them as they start to sort of get in an argument. So then it looks like Barry tries to contact Wally, but he can't. It would have been really awesome to see Wally in this episode. He definitely should have been in this episode. I know the actor really doesn't, he doesn't come back to the Flash very often. So hopefully he comes back in the future. But anyways, right after that, Iris shows up once again from the Still Force. She's not, cured finally, but Dion was still able to, get her back out in the real world for a little while. So then we finally get our first look at Jay and Joan Garrick, and Jay seems to have, only gotten faster since we saw him last, which was pretty interesting to, hear. But right as that happens, 6 Godspeeds decide to show up at Jay's, I'm assuming, his home. So then Iris meets Bart and Nora, and Bart explains once again that Godspeed is his quote-unquote Thawne. It kind of would have been cool, see Bart mention Inertia, who was Bart's archenemy in the comics, so that would have been awesome to see, but unfortunately, it looks like they're taking a different route with it. Then we find out that Godspeed ends up killing Jay Garrick in the future that Bart and Nora are from, and Bart explains to Nora how Jay was basically his mentor, sort of like in the comics when Bart's mentor was Max Mercury. It would be really awesome to see Max on the show, but unfortunately it looks like that's probably never going to happen. But yeah, there's been a lot of great comic book references in this episode. Oh, by the way, we got some confirmation that Bart is only 19. I highly doubt that Nora is 19, which actually she says that she's 26. So it looks like they aren't going to end up being called the Tornado Twins, which is a bit disappointing. But maybe I guess they could still be called the Tornado Twins without actually being twins. It just really wouldn't be comic book accurate whatsoever. So then we see 2021 August Hart, who lost his memories, interact with the treadmill that he traveled in time with. He says it's very familiar, and, he just still doesn't remember who he is at this point. So then Barry is attempting to use a weapon versus the Godspeeds, and it seems to work at first until the Godspeeds start to recharge themselves. Luckily, Frost is able to hold them off long enough for Barry and Nora to get away. So then we see Barry talking a bit about Thawne and how Godspeed might have killed someone that Bart cared for. At this point during the episode, I was kind of thinking that the cliffhanger might be Thawne related. I thought it might be maybe Godspeed related. Maybe the cliffhanger would have been Godspeed, regaining his memory, the real Godspeed, I should say. Then Barry receives a message from a Godspeed that says that Jay Garrick would die unless Bart is turned over to the Godspeeds. So Bart goes after Jay, who has been captured by the Godspeeds, and just like that, Bart is surrounded by the 6 Godspeeds, and he is blasted with that vibrational power that Godspeed has, while Barry and Nora arrive to stop the Godspeeds. But then Jay, Nora, Bart, and Barry are surrounded by all 12 Godspeeds, but then right as they're about to get in a huge speedster fight, Cisco returns as Mecha Vibe. I did not expect that whatsoever. It was awesome to see him again. I don't think we got any like promo images or any teasers in regards to Cisco returning at all. So this was definitely a huge surprise and a good one at that. So we see Bart unconscious and almost dead as Cisco reunites with everyone on Team Flash. Then Barry gets the idea to go into the mind of August Hart to find out why this Godspeed War started, sort of like, you know, when his mind was projected into the future when he saw the crisis. So Barry goes into August's mind and sees, well, August Hart himself as Godspeed for the first time, which was pretty cool to see. We see, you know, basically August threatening Barry, and that's where the episode ends. It was a little to-be-continued type thing, so we know, obviously, this is a 2-part finale, and the next episode, I think, is going to be better than this one, although this one was still a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as your thoughts on the episode. What did you guys think of it? I thought it was absolutely amazing. I'm really excited for next episode as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.